Welcome, one and all, to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast for our review of Night 1 of Wrestlemania.
Night 1.
Yes, the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only, the six-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion himself,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe. We've got a green screen behind us. We've got kind of a horrible shot of the green screen. The cropping is awful, but we are going live, folks.
Live for you.
Live for you.
KOE Nation.
I mean, if you want to fuck with it, you can. I don't give a shit right now because, my God.
You at home can put in your own image behind us. That is the kind of interaction you get here at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. But getting down to...
VR headsets encouraged. I'm sure that's totally interactive with what we're doing here.
Yes, but
yeah. Frivolity
aside, Tony, this was a historic night in the world of professional wrestling.
That it was.
The first, as I like to call it, WrestleMania 36, backyard wrestling takeover. Because it did kind of remind me of the old backyard days.
Oh, my God.
About as many fans.
Not only did it remind us of the backyard days, it went ahead and surpassed those feelings, and it hit us right here in the feels. Towards the end of the show, right here in the feels, folks. WrestleMania 36 is in the books. Night 1, that is. And we are going to talk about it. And I'm going to enjoy me some of Phil's marvelous Teeling single malt Irish whiskey as we discuss this. So,
and I am enjoying Napoe Castle 12-year-old bourbon cask matured single malt Irish whiskey.
Oh, and that's a marvelous choice. You cannot go wrong either way. Love me some of that. Surprised by this. We're both enjoying ourselves. And folks, this was a mania like no other. Let's just get the tagline out of the way. The only WrestleMania too big for one night, because we have to fucking say that.
For now.
Even if we just discuss it here with you live. And there's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, you know what? We're going off script here. It doesn't matter.
We're going for so the first match of WrestleMania. The Kabuki Warriors versus Bliss and Cross Applesauce. And the winners of that match and new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bliss and Cross. Applesauce. Yes, you're one of your favorites. Really good match. My one takeaway from it the only detraction is Nikki Cross did seem to throw a lot of forearms kind of constantly.
That she did, and it was a very serviceable tag team match. It was one that you would not write anybody home about. You could just as easily see this match on a Raw or SmackDown. It is what it was. It was the opener of WrestleMania 36, and it was a strong opener. And mind you, every match we discuss over this weekend will be, let's face it, heavily edited. This was, and there were parts of the match where you could clearly tell where they cut camera, refocused the shot, and continued from there. Maybe even redid some of the bumps, some of the shots, and that's going to be a theme throughout the entire weekend.
Foreshadowing for later that evening.
You really can't detract any of these matches because of that, because that's just how it is, nature of the beast. So, hate the name, Bliss Cross Applesauce, whatever.
I love it.
They got the win here. You, myself, and Jigan all picked those two to reclaim the Women's Tag Team Championships, and they did. Kicking off WrestleMania 36 with a bang, new Women's Tag Team Championships. Phil, how would you rate it?
I rated that one 2 stars. The lack of crowd really did hurt that match. I'm sorry, it just did. There's no way of boiling that down any other way.
Fair. I get it. Lex is my girl, but I give it 2.5, mostly because I wanted to see Alexa with a title, and she got it back. So be it under these unique circumstances.
We'll have to see how that rapscallion ne'er-do-well chicken, who clearly, I mean, he must be in touch with your old collusion buddies.
Oh, give me a break.
We'll get into that later, folks.
Yeah.
So, great job, Bliss and Cross, Applesauce, new women's champion. So, moving right along to the big shocker for all of us, Elias versus Corbin.
This was one of those matches where I truly expected the heavy-hearted heel to come in, steamroll his opponent by the very end. You felt King Corbin was going to come in. He'd let Elias shine a little bit, but at the end, King Corbin was going to snatch victory away. That was not to be. Somehow, Elias found a way to win this match, and I'm a big Elias fan. Love to see him win on the grandest stage of them all, even if it is on a closed set.
Well, here's my problem, is I was rooting for King Corbin, given that I am the King of Extreme, and he is King Corbin. And we're both royalty, I figured it would be a good showing of a treaty between our two kingdoms for me to go for him in this match. So
Indeed.
I bow to you, sir, and it's unfortunate that you lost. Really, I also think this is I thought this was going to be his gimme for doing jobs for Roman Reigns for the last half year.
Fair.
I thought they were at least going to give him this one, but nope, he's putting Elias over too. So, well done, sir. What'd you give it?
I gave it 3. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this match without the crowd. I thought it was good. You know, you could just as easily see this on a weekly go-home show, but I thought they did give an extra bit of effort. I gave it 3. I liked it. I'm trying to rate these all as if we actually had a crowd, which clearly we don't, so take that into consideration with all of our ratings.
I also gave it 3, but for different reasons. I just like the fact that Elias had a really
you
good...
You gave it 2.
Oh. Nah, you know, I'm going to change it to 2.5. I like the fact that Elias had a good Superman comeback there.
All right, fair.
Yeah, it was a good classic Jerry Lawler Superman comeback. So I am retroactively, because again, the lack of crowd was just so jarring for me.
It was.
Okay, like again, yeah, Tony, it was like the good old days for us. Okay, that's what that was like, rather than the biggest, grandest stage of them all, the showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania in front of 93,000 fans at WrestleMania 3, allegedly. That's just not what I expected. But, yeah, you better.
2.5.
So,
okay.
Well done, gentlemen.
Well, before we move forward, we have a comment here. It says, Justin, I gotta take a fucking beastie-ass shit, bro. Justin, I'd pause for you if we could, but we are unfortunately live. Go take that beastie shit, come back, unpause us, and we will dive further into this for you, but we must trudge forward.
I was about to say, sounds like a personal problem, but
I do not recommend eating Taco Bell.
Anyways, so we
WrestleMania.
Move forward. My God.
Just saying.
So what was the next match afterwards? Wasn't it
Holy Jesus. No, honestly, it's... Okay, folks, here's the thing. 8 matches on night 1. There's another 8 tomorrow. We're a bit out of order here, but I believe that the next match was Becky versus Baszler. Am I incorrect?
I don't think you were.
I believe that was surprisingly, after main eventing last year's WrestleMania, Becky Lynch is 3rd match in on night 1, I guess, of the WrestleMania that's too big for
She goes from Betty 2 belts to Betty Curtain Jerker.
We had expectations going into this match, and let's face it, you and I both said, how does Baszler win this match? Because it was a foregone conclusion. Shockingly, Becky Lynch retains, and she retained strong. She got the win out of nowhere. Baszler didn't even retaliate after the bell. Becky Lynch retains the title, surpassing her 1-year mark, and she is still your Raw Women's Champion. Shocked here. Chicken, who predicted with us, predicted Becky. Good for him. Not good for us.
Yep, that was what put him in contention, was that pick right there.
Yeah.
But what'd you give this one, champ?
You know what? I really liked this match. I thought, oh man, you put this exact match in front of a crowd of even 20,000, and I think that the crowd would enjoy the absolute hell out of this match. And mind you, this is after you and I both watched Becky Asuka live at the Royal Rumble in person. I thought this match was really damn good. I enjoyed it. I was probably being generous, but I gave it 3.5. I thought it was seamless. Granted, again, camera cuts, editing, blah, blah, blah. 3.5.
2.5. It was I.
That's it.
Yep. That's it. It was I. That's what I'm gonna give it. Shane,
Why?
Wrong conclusion, mostly.
You can't fault it for the conclusion,
Sure
though.
I can. I did it Hell in a Cell.
That wasn't just conclusion.
Was
okay.
it though? So,
All
but no,
right.
I'm sorry.
All
It was a
right.
2.5 star match at best. I'm sorry, but I have to be
Fine.
honest with the KOE Nation.
All right.
My reputation with them is on the line, sir.
I digress. We're trying to go in order here, but it's been a long night, and I don't know if anybody else had the same experience as we did, but I had the Fire Stick, the Amazon Fire Stick, plugged into the TV, and every time we'd get about 2 minutes into the match, the Fire Stick would reset. We watched 3/4 of WrestleMania 36 Night 1 on the laptop that's right in front of us right now. We've had an interesting experience for this WrestleMania, an unprecedented experience.
Let's call it that.
Let's call it that. So we're trying to stay in order, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was the next match not the Intercontinental Championship? Let's just dive right into that.
Yep. Damn fine match. This is the first match that actually got me into WrestleMania. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Like, this was Sammy and Daniel actually had a good classic match where Sammy was being a classic heel. Some of the better heel work I've seen in years.
Oh,
And he was
Sammy's
able
always
to
good. Sammy's
enunciate
always
it. And yeah, I was thoroughly entertained by this match. Wrong guy won. I will say the wrong
give
guy
me
won.
a break. No.
Well, I had Daniel Bryan to try and win
Why
the
you-
championship. So when Sammy's able, like, wrong guy won, that's the only downside.
Daniel Bryan was never going to win this match. I told you, 50-50 booking. It might be 2 years in the fucking making, but god dang it, man. Sami Zayn just got his first singles title. He was going to retain it here, and he did. The numbers game played into effect. Sami Zayn's an excellent heel. He played the part perfectly. Nakamura and Cesaro did their part. Gulak fought like a champ as Daniel Bryan's manager-ish thing. But it was a great match. I loved it. I'm sorry. I said during the match, if you put both of these guys in a different scenario, hell, if you put them in an AEW ring, let's just go ahead and give that wink. If you put these guys in the AEW ring, this would have been a 7-star, 35-minute classic. They did what they could with the time they were given. 3 stars.
I can't really disagree. It was a great 3-star match. And yes, I do have a feeling if the crowd would have been there, this would have been another sleeper Daniel Bryan 4-star match.
There you have it.
So, yes, the crowd, the lack of one was an effect. But, again, give him points for trying to put on something entertaining that did compel us.
Yes.
In the middle of all this crazy shit.
And it did. Loved it.
And it's got all of you wonderful folks here with us this evening. So,
Indeed.
all right. So, moving right along.
Jeez.
The triple threat ladder
Was that
match.
the next one?
Yes. That was
Okay.
That was a clusterfuck.
Let's just get this one out of the way,
You
folks.
said I could never book it.
Okay. Jesus, are we really going to preface that? Yep, let's get into it.
Moving right along.
No, let's just preface this. Here, folks, we are live. It's WrestleMania 36, Night 1. Let's just get this out of the way because it does need mentioning. Myself, the champion, and the sucking-ish champion that's kind of as good
You
as
mean
me.
the greatest wrestling podcaster to ever live, Phil KOE?
But not the greatest backyard wrestler of all time. That
Oh.
lies squarely here, folks.
That lies over here to
That's
the second
why
power.
after I retain after night 2, I will be Tony Triple Belt. But I digress. We had a clusterfuck of a SmackDown Tag Team title ladder match. Originally slated to be Usos, New Day, Miz, and Morrison. Unfortunately, the worldly circumstances took their toll. People pulled out, and we got a triple threat, 3-way dance, 3 guys ladder match for the tag team titles. Strange as it sounds, but that's exactly what Phil Russo here would have booked 20 years ago in the backyard.
Oh, so here's another example, Tony, of me being far ahead of my time in terms of my booking genius.
Let's call it that. Let's call it that.
So, in this brilliant booking idea that should have been utilized,
Sure.
not that I'm bitter or nothing.
No, not bitter.
We have what's for the tag team titles a singles 3-way dance.
Bitter.
That is the bitter truth. But
we're going blue here live, folks.
This is the best entertainment you can find this evening. So I couldn't help it. I loved this match. It was amazing. They did everything they could with what they had, and they put on one hell of a performance.
The fact that they were able to overcome the circumstances that they were given, camera cuts, multiple day tape recordings, the fact that they had no backup because each guy had to come into this match as an individual, not as a tag team. I'm going to stand firm on the fact that I think they should rebook this match as a TLC match for SummerSlam. All 3 of these teams. Put that on SummerSlam. It will steal the absolute show. It will be undoubtedly one of the greatest in TLC lore.
You're assuming there's a SummerSlam?
Do it if there's a SummerSlam.
Yeah, okay.
Big if. Oh, God. But.
Knocking on wood for you, folks.
But the fact that Jimmy Uso, John Morrison, and Kofi Kingston came out in front of a crowd of 0 and put on a tag team ladder match of this caliber, even with the camera cuts, and they were obvious. I thought this match was excellent. I'm marked out. Halfway through, I'm like, I'm watching this match. I'm trying to get into this match. And halfway through, I went,
I'm into this match.
Fuck me, they've got me hooked. They hooked me halfway through. They got me. They brought me there. And I sat there and I watched this match and went, damn, they found a way. They found a way to bring us all in. They brought us all in.
It was Tony G's, Jeff Goldblum, and Jurassic Park.
Son of a bitch.
He did it. Like, yeah.
Found a way.
And yeah.
Found a way.
I saw it happen for Tony. It's kind of funny. So.
You found a way. And you watched it
hold
happen.
Us in.
Oh, man. It sounds even silly saying it, but 3
in a triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles. What do you give it?
3.75.
Does that hurt, Tony?
A little bit.
Does that hurt
to give
bit. One of Phil KOE's brilliant angles, a 3.75? Yes. Well, I can't disagree. It's a 3.75, folks. Damn fine match.
Fine match.
And congratulations to Miz and Morrison.
Yeah, just Morrison.
Just
really.
Morrison.
Just Morrison.
On their win.
Love you, Miz. Hope you get well soon if there is.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We're just going to throw that one in a few more times. All right, moving on down the card to...
What's left? I'm so lost. Okay. Folks, wow. Yeah, so Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. This match got probably, I think it's safe to say, 75% of the build from Raw heading into WrestleMania. I think most of the focus was on this match. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, you had Viking Raiders, you had the Street Profits, you had, AJ, Gallows, Anderson, you had Murphy, AOP. Everybody was involved in this feud moving towards WrestleMania. And let me just say it, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins had one of the better hush-hush Hell in a Cell matches that I've seen in recent memory when they did their previous feud for the Universal title. So I was ecstatic when they renewed this rivalry. Phil's even leaving camera because he cannot stand how good they decided that this match was going to be moving into WrestleMania.
I had to scratch my face, and I didn't want people on the internet to give me a hard time. Thank you. Okay. Hand sanitize.
There you go.
Hand sanitize.
So, I'll be honest. Like, I have this match alone for me was special because when I came back to WWE after taking a long break, I watched TNA, I watched Impact. I finally came back to WWE several years ago, and I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I gave it a shot. John Cena was U.S. champion.
One moment. Hold that thought. Howdy, little fettuccine 69. Welcome to the show, sir.
WWE could have stepped up the set at least. You know what?
As grandiose a sets as they have for other shows, I do understand what you're saying.
I would 100% agree with that, except for the reason we will get to in this match. When I came back to WWE after being a longtime TNA fan, I gave up on that. I came back, and the two guys I latched onto were Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And then eventually they found themselves in a Universal title picture, and they had a Hell in a Cell match. Chris Jericho was involved. It was beautiful. I loved it. You know what? This match was better. This match was brilliant. The build for this match, can you not picture? Take this exact blueprint. Take this match. Put it in front of a crowd of 70,000 plus people and tell me that this would not have been one of those classic WrestleMania matches. I defy you to tell me anything different.
Oh, this was a classic match by any measured crowd or no crowd. And as much as I hate to say, Seth in particular, but also a little bit of Kevin's backyard experience, wrestling without a crowd in front of them, probably paid some serious dividends here. And also on the indie scene, Kevin would have to wrestle in front of antagonistic crowds. Fuck you, you suck, we want blood, boo!
They didn't even need blood in this match.
No, didn't.
I'll be honest, when we were watching this match and they got to the ring bell spot where Seth Potatoes KO with the ring bell and they call it DQ finish, Kevin Owens wins, I went from going, this was great, and I went, no, this sucked ass. Because I remember 2 years ago when they did all those Nakamura, AJ, Kevin Owens false finishes, I went, this is bullshit. Kevin Owens rolls in the ring, grabs Mike, says, fuck that, no DQ. Seth comes back, they restart the match, and I went, yes! This is exactly what the fuck we needed. Thank you. Thank you for not screwing us over on WrestleMania weekend. I don't care what night it is. This is what needed to happen. No outside interference. Just two guys beating the absolute bejesus out of each other. And they did that in tenfold. And after the match was restarted as a no DQ contest, did it not do anything but amp up everything?
Yes. Preach it, brother. Yes. Put your hand to the screen if you can hear what we're saying.
Thank you.
And also, the little fettuccine. Tony and I are both drinking single malt Irish whiskeys. I'm drinking the Pogue Castle.
Tealing myself. But
So
the Pogue is excellent as well.
yes, so the world of single malt Irish whiskey is definitely worth examining.
Oh, God, yes. But this match!
So what did you...
This match!
Yes! God damn it.
After
What
they
did you-
restarted the match!
And he gave one hell of an off-the-set jump onto the table.
That's why I did not hate the set. The fact that we had no attendance, there was nobody in the crowd, but they still somehow found a way to utilize the shitty WrestleMania logo thing that they had behind the announce desk. Kevin Owens climbs up, delivers a pretty damn spectacular elbow off of that through the announce table into Seth Rollins. I loved it. We didn't expect it. They kept cutting to that stupid thing, and I'm like, my God, we don't need to be reminded. But we were. He climbed up on it, dove off it. Great moment. I loved the match. I fucking loved this match. I would gladly watch it again.
Yes, this is one of the only matches from this WrestleMania that will be worth watching again in the future.
Thank you.
I gave it a 4.25,
God damn.
which is shocking for a no crowd match.
I had this close to 4 stars before they called for the bell. They called for the bell. I dropped it down to 2. They restarted the fucking match. They went out above and beyond. They finished the match. Kevin Owens wins. 4.25. Loved the match. I would gladly watch it again.
Fell asleep during it? Well, go back and watch it because it's worth watching.
No. If you fell asleep during it, you know what? Go ahead. Play it back for yourself every time you want to go back to sleep. Love the match. Love KO. Love Seth Rollins.
Kevin Owens. So, moving on to what we thought was the main event.
Jesus.
Until we got a real surprise.
Whew, here we go.
Braun Strowman versus Goldberg. It was unfortunate.
Folks, I picked Braun Strowman to win this match because I thought for sure there's no fucking way they keep the belt on Bill Goldberg moving forward when there's no guarantee that there's going to be a Raw after WrestleMania, when they have no plans to record or tape or do any live shows after WrestleMania because of this crisis that we're facing in this country. There's no way that they put the fucking geriatric Goldberg over in this match, and then the match started and I went, fuck me, Goldberg's going to win this match. And then he hit 5 spears in a row.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God, this is how they smash him over Braun Strowman. With no build to this match, they smash him into Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman eats it. Yet, somehow, some way, Braun Strowman kicked the fuck out.
And countered the jackhammer in actually a really good, convincing way. I've actually never seen the jackhammer countered like that. And it was one of those, are you not entertained? I thought that was, as much as I was pulling for Goldberg because it would have helped me move closer to my championship goals and desires.
Put it over here.
We still have another night, sir. But
Bill Goldberg could not spear Braun Strowman enough to pick up a victory. This match was basically shown highlight after highlight after highlight. They showed the thing in its entirety on the replay.
Yeah, they kind of did, didn't they?
They did. It wasn't much of a match, but holy shit. I absolutely marked out like a bitch when Braun Strowman power slammed Bill Goldberg for like the 3rd or 4th time. I lost track. I lost my shit. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman finally is your new Universal Champion. Holy shit.
Well done, sir. You finally made it. Now, me, I marked out on a different level than you. When Goldberg, basically for each spear he hit, that was just me shifting gears in my markery Yes, I marked out for Goldberg's entrance.
Yeah,
So,
even without the crowd.
Spear
even
one,
without the crowd.
Spear 1, I was in level
Yeah.
gear 1 mark. Spear 2, gear 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, apparently we were in an 18-wheeler, and then
the spear.
Somehow, rather than being against it, when Braun Strowman countered it into his own, it's like I shifted gears to like Mach 5 in terms of my mark outery, and I was all for it. Well done, Braun Strowman, our new champion of this universe. Now, moving on to the last match of the night that we did not know was coming, and we have said nothing about it to each other.
No, we have
afterwards.
not discussed this. This is crisp. This is clear. We rated all these matches. We wrote down what we thought each match was, but we saved this review for you all live. Folks, the main event of WrestleMania 36, Night 1, was none other than AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, versus the Phenom, The Undertaker, in what we did not know what to expect, a boneyard match. I said before we kicked this show off tonight on the prediction video, I expect this to be basically a buried alive match. It ended up being just that, but on a closed set, on, well, let's face it, a theatrical movie set. So, let's dive into this. The Undertaker versus AJ fucking Styles at WrestleMania 36 was not just a match. It was theatrics from the get-go. And let me say this. Kudos to Vince and the WWE for paying Metallica a boatload of money for using their music. I can't believe he dipped into his pocket that way.
Well, they don't have to pay for any celebrities coming in this year.
There you have it.
And by the way, hello, Andy. How you doing this evening? Thanks for joining us. But I'll be honest with you, Tony.
Hit me.
I wanted to hate this.
Okay.
I really did.
Hit me. Let's hear it.
I was completely enamored with what I saw. I was blown away. I was captivated on the edge of my seat.
All right.
I'm still having a hard time figuring out how to rate this, though.
Because it wasn't really a match. It was a theatrical movie presentation of
The Undertaker.
Jesus.
You said it best. Is it all right if I just steal your line here?
Go ahead.
It was basically The Undertaker is John Wayne in a Western with Undertaker's gimmicks rather than six shooters and such.
We're watching that unfold. We watched as soon as they brought the hearse in, they played Undertaker's music, they backed that in. I said, this is going to be AJ Styles. So I was like, no, this is going to be AJ Styles pops out of the coffin. I'm like, oh, it's freaking brilliant. This is great. And I loved it. And then Undertaker rolls in on the motorcycle. He's
with
blending,
Metallica.
He's with Metallica. He's blending the badass with the Phenom, as we expected. And you and I, again, we had this pulled up on the TV. The TV failed us. We had to watch this entire event from the laptop that I'm completely fucking with camera-wise. We watched this entire thing from the laptop. As soon as AJ popped out of that and Undertaker rolls in on the motorcycle, you got those goosebumps. And it's weird to say that with a taped show on this scale, but you still managed to get the goosebumps of Undertaker's rolling into this match on a motorcycle. It's kind of special. And then they got into this match. This match basically took every element of the final deletion, the Woken Matt versus Bray Wyatt feud, the New Day versus Bray Wyatt on the compound, all those crazy closed set matches, the not the Chamber of Horrors, but the House of Horrors matches.
Yep.
And they found a way to do this
and make it work
with theatrics and make it work. Why? because Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, is basically the greatest worker of all time now. It's almost non-disputable.
I did say one thing. It's like, I found it fascinating that The Undertaker can make his,
Justin liked it too.
Well, thank you, sir. But Undertaker could make his, I hate to use this word, but his work punches, he can make them look more real than UFC real fights. Like, just the way he cocks back and hits you, it looks so legitimate.
Now, granted,
and that's the only reason it worked.
Granted, they had to cut the camera several times to make this look movie theatrical and impactful. But the fact that they did it, and they did it so perfectly. We sat here and watched this. Stood right here, where we are right now, with bated breath, like this. We didn't talk during this match. We just watched this match unfold. This wasn't even a match. This was a movie. This was Clint Eastwood versus 3 black hats. This was goddamn John Wayne shooting the bad guy at the end of the movie. Undertaker knocks down the cronies. Gallows and Anderson. He takes AJ. No, brother, I'm not going to bury you. And then he buried him.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Tony.
This was not a match. This was a culmination.
Thank you.
It was.
Thank you.
This was
Tony.
Fucking beautiful. I'm sorry. I marked out so fucking hard for this. I almost hate myself.
Tony, I came in wanting to hate this.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell you, it was brilliant.
It was fucking beautiful.
It was a masterpiece.
It was.
Oh
my God. Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, New Day, Wyatt called, Hardy versus Hardy. No, none of that. No, forget all that. Watch Undertaker versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36 Night 1. This was fucking beautiful.
Vince McMahon, you brilliant bastard. How did you do it?
They found a way to make a closed set theatrics the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, and it worked. It was fucking
and I'm
beautiful.
Not even marking out because it's The Undertaker, but God damn it, brilliant, goddamn masterpiece. Internet, wash me to judgment. Don't care. 5 stars.
You're taking the guy that I fell in love with when I first really started watching WWF television, and you're putting him against the guy that I fell in love with in TNA when I walked away from WWE. You're putting them in a gimmick movie theatrics match on WrestleMania, and somehow, some way, these 2 guys, believe it or not, 2 of the better workers ever, shocker, found a way to make this into a fucking masterpiece. This was brilliant. Given the specifics of this match,
5
stars.
5 stars. My God.
I marked out, man. I marked out. It was beautiful.
Yes. We laughed, we cried.
Amazing.
It was a journey, and we were all there. And it was starring Mark the Undertaker, John Wayne Calloway, and AJ Styles. Oh, and we have that ne'er-do-well rapscallion Chicken has joined us. Jess West has just joined us, you rapscallion ne'er-do-well. As it stands right now, you are tied with Tony for the RWP Championship.
7-5. We trudge on to night 2.
I need to have a perfect night tomorrow night in order to be in competition, but it's between Tony G and Chicken. One of the last feuds we had, if I recall. So, but now, Tony, if I may.
If you may.
So, now... Oh, you wish you All-American champion you. But Gentlemen, this has been one hell of a WrestleMania night. As I'm known to say around here, is there anything else you'd like to add first?
Be my guest.
All that being said, folks, this has been our review of WrestleMania Night 1. This has been an amazing, momentous, historical moment in time in all of our lives and in the world of wrestling. Thank you much for everybody that was with us tonight. Thank you, everybody that was doing this show to perform for us tonight. Thank you all for being here. We will be with you for WrestleMania Night 2 tomorrow night. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
6-time champ, Tony fucking G. Get your ass back here on this channel tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Central Time to watch us review WrestleMania 36 Night 2 in all its glory. Regardless of how you feel about it, folks, it's gonna be good. Don't miss it.
Later, folks. Whew. All right. Thank y'all for putting up with that.
You're